ready for me?
This beats
Here
me.
I is. Hey! Let's do this. There goes it. Had to get it together, y'all. Alright, look here. There's been some changes that done went on. The studio is different. Do that. I hope that this sounds all right. Sounds a little muffled. All right, let me see if I can crank this on up a little bit. Let's see. All right, how that sound? Does that sound better? Does it sound worse? What does that do for y'all? Let me see. Hold on, wait a minute. I can actually turn it up and see if that sounds better. That sounds better. Hey. Better like butter. All right, cool. I think we're good. I think we're good. I'm gonna give it just a tinch more. I don't know what a tinch is or how much a tinch is, but I'm gonna give it just a little tinch more. Hopefully that's good. All right. So look, y'all go ahead, click the like button. If this is your first time here, I just want to tell you welcome. Things look a little different. I'm almost finished with the upgrades, and I'm gonna show some pictures when it's all finished. But I just want to tell everybody that has been donating, I appreciate you. And like I said, hey, I was able to do some different things. I had some blessings come my way, and I like what I got going on. So you see, you can even see a little bit of the desk back here. You can see a little bit of the desk, but now I got like a full desk. I got plenty of real estate. I done upgraded one of my monitors. I got extra. It's just gonna look good. Y'all will see it. But let's go ahead and let's do what we came here to do, and that is talk about my city. Now let me tell y'all something, man. I am born and raised in Chicago. Chicago is my home. I lived there for 35 years, whatever, 35, 36 years. Then I moved to Michigan, lived there for about 7 years. Yeah, about 7 years. Was it 7 years in Michigan? Yeah, about 7 years, 7, 8 years. Then I moved down here to Texas, and I love it down here. But that still doesn't take away my love for my city. And with that being said, I'm gonna tell you like this. What's going on in this city, it's beyond bad, because we've gotten so used to hearing this type of thing happening in Chicago that we kind of got used to it. And it's to the point to where we kind of like, oh, well, yeah, well, oh man, another 8 got shot. Oh, dang. Oh, wow, man, I can't believe that. Another 10 got shot. Oh, we don't even be like, wow, until it be like 104 shot over the weekend. And I have to say that we've gotten desensitized to this. There has been some, if you hear 4, 5 shot over the weekend, you ain't tripping. 14 shot over the weekend. Ain't tripping. The only reason why we really tripping over this 14 is because it was at a funeral. People were more shocked at the fact that it was at a funeral than 14. Do you understand what I'm saying? We were more shocked and outraged that it was 14 shot at a funeral as opposed to it just being 14 shot period. Or 15 shot. That is the problem. We have this thing to where we are talking about these shootings and we've gotten so desensitized by the number that we're more concerned about the place. We gotten so desensitized about the shooting that we really get riled up when it's kids as opposed to just being people. And I think that it's a whole nother level of bad. I guess that's the best way to put it. When we've gotten to that point to where it's not the number, it's just the type of people that's getting shot. So it's like, where do you go from here? Old people? 14 old ladies got shot over the weekend. Old ladies, this got to stop, y'all. That's what we doing. That's where it's going. And that is what I'm trying to, I guess I just have to keep doing this and talking about it because I don't want it to be when this is looked at 5 months, 5 years, or 50 years from now, and it was just like, y'all was asleep at the wheel. I'm telling you, it's like, and all of that was going on with, I literally had the entire studio broke down. There was nothing in this room. Nothing. Everything was out of here. All the lights, all the equipment, all the cameras, everything was tore down. And I'm telling you, my motivation to getting this thing back up and running sooner than what I thought, because I was like, well, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to get it set up. I didn't know how I was going to set it up. And I was taking my time. But when this came out, I literally said, I got to step this shit up. I got to step it up because I had to do this. And it was like just working on it in between work, in between family, in between just life. I literally put in just extra hours and just getting this back up to where I could do my thing. I still got about another maybe 2.5, maybe 3 hours worth of work to do in here. But I just had to get up and running. And the fact that I started a stream at midnight. Midnight-ish. Y'all know. I can't remember the last time I started a stream this late. You know what I'm saying? But I said, no, I need to do this. I was that compelled to do it. And it's like, I'm glad I still had that drive to do it as opposed to just being, nah. I was just like, no, I got to talk about this tonight. And I'm thankful for that it still strikes a nerve with me, because there were other things that I had lined up. Like I said, I have at least 2 to 3 other shows that I could be doing, but this got to the top of the list because of just where it's at, what happened, how many was involved. And it's like, when is enough gonna be enough? I guess that's my question. And it's like, I guess the whole thing, and I'm probably gonna say this a few times, when not the mayor, the alderman, city councilman, police superintendent, the police, the neighbors, the pastors, the community activists, Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, any lives matter. When are we gonna say enough is enough? When are we gonna be just tired to the point to where we draw a line in the sand and then we say, if you cross this line again, it's war? I'm trying to get to see when that point is coming. When are we gonna say enough is enough? We kicking it off and it's on and popping. Just like when they talk about Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks was the line. They said, y'all done put the last nigga done got put off a bus and locked up. Y'all done crossed the line, and here we go. Emmett Till was the line. Y'all done beat this boy to where he's unrecognizable. We're going to put him in a coffin, and we are going to war. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for us to just draw a line and say this is it. But let's just go ahead and let me go over what I put together for y'all. And it's quite interesting. When I saw this, I was doing one of these, like, wow. So without further ado, my favorite part of the show, and shout out to my wife. Let me tell y'all something. My wife she's not just an awesome wife, she's an awesome person. She really is. I love her dedication and her determination and her discipline to take care of her business. My wife she does things that are just impressive to me. I am so glad that she is my children's mother, because I love how she takes care of her family. And in all that she's doing and everything that's going on with our son, everything that's just going on with our lives, she still finds a way to just stop, take a minute, and put something nice on my page and just say, I love you, baby. I appreciate you. You're amazing. And I just want to say I love you too, baby. Right before I got on, I just so happened to be looking, I was sharing out the show, and I looked on my Facebook and I saw the message that she sent. And I was just like, you man. But I just really appreciate you, baby. But without further ado, my favorite part of the show.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Yeah, you know when you get that drink, when you pour a little too, not too much, but you just pour a little on the heavy side of the game. I was like, oh yeah. Is on the heavy side. There's heavy bike, sir. This is heavy bike. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get it cracking. And what I want to show y'all, I mean, the footage that I have tonight, I'm really quite proud of myself. And yeah, it's really something. So I want y'all to watch this, and then we're going to watch something else.
Chicago's new mayor is taking on political corruption in her first official act. Lori Lightfoot signed an executive order yesterday that limits the power of Chicago's city council members. She's the first African-American woman and first openly LGBTQ person to lead her city. Lightfoot spoke with CTM national correspondent Jerika Duncan in her first national interview as mayor. Jerika, good morning.
Good morning. She definitely has a lot on her plate, but she says she is ready. A former prosecutor is now running the nation's third.
I must admit, I did not expect a Jerika Duncan to look like that. I expected her to have a West Side ponytail where it's a ponytail cocked off to the side. I thought she actually looks like a lady. Just close your eyes. Look, close your eyes and just say the name Jerika Duncan and paint that picture. What you think Jerika Duncan looks like? This ain't her. She looks like an actual lady. I thought Jerika Duncan was gonna look like a straight up dude.
Largest city. Democrat Lori Lightfoot says her priorities include public safety, education, and tackling the city's $42 billion debt. Well, to succeed, she'll have to take on Chicago's political machine, and she'll be doing it as an outsider.
Now, I know this seems a little weird, and you know why it seems a little weird? This was over a year ago when she first got into office. I found this and I was like, yes. When she first got into office, I'm talking like just got sworn in. This is her new mayor looking like Blair Underwood's great grandmama. Here she go.
You're introduced many times as
Don't she look? Y'all can't tell me she don't look like Blair Underwood. Where's my goddamn picture of Blair Underwood?
the first female African-American openly gay mayor of Chicago. Does that bother you at all?
Well, she look like
No,
Blair
no.
Underwood.
It's a great testament to, I think, the spirit of our city in the moment that we're in. I'm honored that people of the city look beyond labels and voted for me.
5'1" Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is known to have an outsized ability to fight. Something she says she learned from her 90-year-old mother.
She's my role model, my champion.
Who was there to witness her daughter's historic inauguration Monday.
For me to come from where I come from with my family's heritage and the sacrifices that both of my parents made, it means everything that she was here to witness this moment.
A moment that was realized on April 2nd when Lightfoot declared victory.
Y'all can't tell.
President Trump did call you to congratulate.
Y'all can't tell me that she ain't related to Blair Underwood. I don't care what y'all say. That's if Blair Underwood became an old drag queen, that's how he would look. This motherfucker Blair Underwood.
What was that conversation like between you and President Trump?
Well, it was very cordial.
Does it bother you to see this city criticized by the president on Twitter when it comes to gun violence?
Of course.
How do you work?
Now, y'all have to take note of this. Donald Trump was talking about the violence in Chicago and the Fed stepping in before he even became president. When he was running, he was talking about when Rahm Emanuel was the mayor, he was talking about this, about the violence. And so you're looking at Donald Trump, who's been in office for 4 years. He was talking about this back when Barack Obama was still the president. So just giving you an idea, even though this shit was going on before then, before Trump even became even possibility of running for president, the city was fucking burning. The city was on fire. The gun violence was out of control back then. And just think, it was out of control to the point to where a potential presidential candidate brought it up and made it a part of his own agenda. He made it one of his speaking points, talking about the violence in this city. When the mayor at the time, Rahm Emanuel, who was too busy trying to cover up shit, and the president at the time, Barack Obama, who didn't do shit about the violence that was going on in his hometown. Oh, Barry Obama didn't do a damn thing about the city of Chicago when it came to gun violence, and he had the authority to do so, and the resources and the authority, essentially.
With a president who says he wants to work with you, but has definitely gone on his Twitter account and criticized Chicago and the gun violence.
What the hell is going on in Chicago?
Well, look, my values are not his values on a range of different issues. But I think that I have an obligation to the residents of the city, particularly the taxpayers, to do everything I can to make sure that we get our fair share of dollars from Washington, D.C.
Onward! Onward! Lightfoot rose to political prominence after chairing a police accountability task force in the wake of the deadly 2014 police shooting of teenager Laquan McDonald. It led to citywide protests, national anger, and a murder conviction against the officer who shot him.
We have been embarked on what I would call a proactive strategy that looks at our gun violence as a public health crisis, which is what it is. That means we look at the root causes of the violence. That means we invest in neighborhoods. We re-stitch together our broken social safety net.
But what is investment?
So you hear all of this shit she's talking. And like I said, this was when she first got into office. I'm talking just sworn in, she doing press. letting everybody know what she's gonna do for the city.
Invest in neighborhoods mean? What does that look like?
It means that we bring resources to communities so that they can grow, that we work on providing wraparound services and jobs.
Now, I hear what resources could be. Resources could be programs. Resources could be, what do they call them? Like resource centers. They could be after school programs. It could be, all types of different things. What the fuck is a wraparound? I don't know.
Training in the neighborhoods that are to communities so that they can grow, that we work on providing wraparound services and
can somebody please Google what a wraparound service is? Because I have no idea what that is. I have never heard of that, and I could just be ignorant, but I don't know what a wraparound service is. I know what a reach around is, but I don't know what a wraparound service is. What could that possibly be? And Aunt Blair Underwood looking at her like, man, this bitch do look like me. He like, where they find this bitch at? That's how he looking at her. He looking like, man, this bitch, this ugly bitch do look like me. Woo! Other guy, you brought the nunchucks.
Job training in the neighborhoods that are under siege and economically distressed.
You talked a lot about.
So my thing is this, and this is why I'm loving this footage. This is the mayor. This is the person who is in charge. And she talking about they already got a $42 or $48 billion deficit in the city. How the hell do you run up that amount of credit? I said credit. I have no clue. But what's done is done. What is wraparound services? I have no clue. But what it is she's talking about she's doing, and I'm going to tell you right now, she ain't done none of this shit.
This coming down to communities trusting police, and the police also trusting the communities. Right. How do you bridge that gap?
Police can't be successful if they're not viewed as legitimate by the community, and the community will not be safe if the police are not engaged in a respectful constitutional partnership with the community. And the only way to do it is person by person. There's no magic solution.
She says her biggest fear is seeing children who feel, quote, penned down by gun violence. But she is extremely optimistic, saying she hopes to see a decrease in gun violence as early as the summer. And it wasn't just a historic day for Lightfoot. For the first time in Chicago's history, women of color now hold 3 city-wide elected offices, as you can see right there.
How can a city like Chicago be so racist and got not 1, not 2, but 3, and I ain't even about to count the aldermen and other city officials that are black or Hispanic in this city. Mind you, this is the most segregated city in the entire country. Ain't no other city as segregated as Chicago, but it mean all wonderfully made and democratically ran, it ain't full of nothing but people of color. So what is the problem with y'all getting some shit done? Because she just said she hopes that this violence will be taken care of, will cease by the summer. By the summer, that's what she's saying. Now this is a year later.
She came in an extraordinary wave of support because she won every ward in the city.
She sure did.
It was lovely to see her mother there at the ceremony, age 90, but she's also got a brother, right, who's been in and out of prison. How does that color her politics?
Yeah, we asked her that.
You hear how he slid that shit in there? That was slick as hell, wasn't it? He had a brother that's been in and out of prison. Yeah, but I guess we ain't gonna talk about that.
Question about how does that inform your decisions, and she basically said that she's focused on making sure there are adequate reentry programs because you have thousands of people from the prison systems going into the streets that she's trying to help and save. So very optimistic. We look forward to following up to see what Chicago looks like a year from now.
She's been very candid and transparent about it, about everything so far in her life. She's made it clear there are going to be some changes around here in Chicago. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out for her.
All right, girl. You heard Gail say it.
Chicago's new mayor.
It's going to be some changes around here, honey. We got Auntie Lori in the city now. That was over a year ago. Over a year ago. Like I said, unfortunately, I'm an asshole and I like telling the truth. So now, let's go and let's look at what's happening.
President Trump has threatened to send in federal agents to various U.S. cities to restore what he calls law and order. But the ACLU says sending in these federal agents with
a year later, this is what they talking about, forcing in some troops because it done got that out of hand. But I ain't gonna even do that first because that's gonna be the last part. Let's go ahead and let's see how well Lori has done over this past year of her being in office.
We are tracking breaking news tonight. Another mass shooting in Chicago. 14 people shot, including 6 women in the city's Gresham neighborhood. The shooting comes the day Mayor Lightfoot clarifies what type of federal help will be sent into Chicago to help fight the city's growing gun violence.
The shooting happened just before 6:30 tonight near a funeral home at 79th and Carpenter. The victims were taken to 5 area hospitals.
And we do have a team of reporters covering this story tonight. WGN's Rob Sneed is standing by at Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn. But we're starting off with WGN's Patrick Elwood, who lives near the scene, with details. Patrick?
Micah and Taman, good evening to you. As the president prepares to send 150 federal agents here to Chicago to help fight crime, this underscores what is happening here. 14 people shot, this gun violence that is crippling the city.
I give it a thumbs up because of the violence that's continuing day in and day out, weekend, little children, and it's just unnatural that all this violence like we're literally in a war zone.
In our communities, it's really sad. It's really sad in these communities. But the children can come out and play. We can't walk to the store. We can't go to a laundromat. We can't go attend a funeral. Who can't attend a funeral? Good gracious.
You know that's old school there. When they say, good gracious. My Uncle Ed used to say that all the time when he gets so fed up. He'd be like, good gracious. After he done cuss you out. I love my Uncle Ed. Shout out to Uncle Ed. Rest easy on OC 100. But my thing is this. Let's really just take in what has happened. So it's been well over a year. I don't know how long Lori Lightfoot has been in office, but it's been well over a year. It's been some good old time that she's had to implement all of the wonderful things she said. And what she said she was going to do, what she meant, what she talked about, what she wanted to do, essentially none of that has happened. And my thing is this. No, you can't come in overnight and do something and say, oh, we're going to change this and stop all. No, you can't do that. You just can't. Yes, we've had coronavirus that has just crippled our entire country. How is it that you have this much violence going on? And yet and still, on top of the gun violence that's happening, you're allowing your own citizens and people from out of town to come into your city and vandalize, terrorize the police. Yep, I said it. They can come in and they can protest and tear down statues. They can do all of this, the added destruction. Now, I ain't talking about you marching, the people that march up and down the streets and all of that kind of stuff. With all of that that's happening, how do you allow people to come and loot, tear up, set on fire, burn down, tear down, the very same resources that she as the mayor and wraparound services, whatever the fuck that means, those very same services that she's talking about the people need were the very same ones that she allowed to be destroyed and tore down when they had the riots there. The very same ones, because she actually gave the orders for the police doing all that shit going on with George Floyd and the riots and all, were to stand down. They allowed them to tear up the Gucci store, the Foot Locker, the from the just lowest of the low corner stores, Arab stores, whatever you want to call them. Quickie Marks, I don't care. All the way up to the Gucci and Prada stores, all of the high fashion stores downtown, they allowed them to tear it all up. So how do you go and say you're going to get all of these different wraparound services, create these jobs for all these wonderful people, but you yet and still don't do none of that, what you said, don't provide any of those services that you talked about, and then on top of that, you allow your city to be torn down, and you, above all people, should be well aware of and know how desperately those services are needed. There are people in Chicago who can't go to the Walmart on the north side or can't go to the Walmart or the Target out in the suburbs. They needed that Target or that Walmart. They needed those stores that were right there in the hood. They needed them because they didn't have transportation. They couldn't go different places. And those very same stores, those were the ones that you allowed to be tore down, to be vandalized, to be looted. Right, I'm sorry, George Kirby. That's what Nancy Pelosi called him. She calls him George Kirby. If Pelosi called him Kirby, I'm going to call the boy Kirby. But when you talking about those type of things and those type of, she literally could have told them, hey, let the people do what they're going to do. However, if they come in the Tampa store, lock them up. Y'all can march up and down the streets all you want. Y'all can chant no justice, no peace all you want. But if they try to loot a store, lock them up. No, they ain't going to go out to the suburbs first. They're going to go to their own hoods first. And that's where they should have been. That's where you should have put the police, the mounted police. You should have put your HBT teams there. You should have called in all God. You should have called in the National Guard if you ran out of resources. That's what they're there for. But what did you do? You let those people tear up your city that you're responsible for. You let them do it. And now they still don't have none of the resources. They still don't have none of the reach around services or wrap around services, whatever you want to call it. And the only thing that they have, what? 14 people shot at a funeral on the south side, at Rhodes' funeral. That's what you got.
2 more ambulances. Everybody coming from the west. 2 more ambulances for a total of 10.
That is Kenneth Hughes was giving the president sending those agents the thumbs up. And Arnita Geeter, they lived together here in the neighborhood. They heard those gunshots, came out and saw all those bodies all over the place. The people shot.
Cookies Lounge.
Were attending a funeral for a 31-year-old man, our understanding is, who was shot himself a week ago. There are
a 31-year-old man who was shot a week ago. Another gangbanger, another gang having beef with another gang, and then the gang got mad at this gang, and then this gang, and the next thing you know, gang is shooting them things, and the people at the funeral is falling down on they thing. 14 people shot at a funeral. Now, I have a question to all of my wonderful statisticians, to all of my knowledgeable woke brothers out there, woke sisters out there, who all tell me that black on black crime, it either don't exist or it's the same as white on white crime. Will y'all please email me the link of the 14 people that got shot at the white funeral home over the past 5 years? Somebody please get me, because I want to prove that y'all are right. Send me the link, because I looked online and I couldn't find it nowhere. I tried to find 14 other people, 12 other people, 6 other people that got shot at a white funeral home, and I couldn't find it. So for everybody that says the numbers are skewed, it's the media that's turning this around. It's the false narrative that the media puts out about black people that makes black on black crime a thing. Black on black crime is the same thing as white on white crime. There is no such thing as black on black crime. So what you're telling me is If the narrative is wrong, there are white people doing this very same thing. There are Asian people doing this very same thing. That's what you're telling me. So I'm just telling y'all, I couldn't find it on Google, but I would please send me the link or the links to the mass shootings of a funeral home that's gang related by white folks that happened over the weekend. You can also send me the links of the 104 white folks that got shot in the white city, in the white town over the weekend, to top the weekend before of 84 people getting shot over the weekend, which topped the record of 68 people getting shot over the weekend the week before that. Please send me that info. I'm waiting to do the story. I have been trying to research, but my internets has not been returning any information. So it must be something wrong with my internets because, yes, I said internets. It must be something wrong with my internets in order for me not to be able to find this information. So I know y'all internets is working. Y'all on the woke side of the web. I'm still on the sleep side of the web. Send me that information to where I can match this level of violence in the same exact manner, just in a different community. That's all I want to see. I want to see the, also you can send me the link of the 8 children that got shot in the white neighborhood, not in the affluent neighborhood, because we know it don't happen in the suburbs. I'm talking about in the trailer park where the poor white trash at. I want you to send me that link as well so that I can put that out there. Just please give me that information because I want to be fair. And I want to put out accurate information on both sides so that we can prove that black on black crime and white on white crime is the same thing. So please send me that information because it's way more white folks in the world than it is black folks. Way more white folks in America than it is black folks. We do know this, right? It's only about 44 million estimate of black folks here in the States. It's only about 44 million of us here. Out of the 325 million of people that's here, only about 44 million of that is black folk. So please send me that. Old man Grey Wolf said, hey, I live in the trailer park. I have not heard any shootings here. Oh, no. See, old man Grey Wolf is lying, and he is one of the people that's perpetuating the narrative, the false narrative of black on black crime. Please. Mark Esling over on the United Guns of America said they still looking for the stolen police horse. Look, I was so disappointed of that police horse. Once I found out that it wasn't really stolen, I really was. It was one of my proudest and yet shameful nigga moments. I thought that these niggas had gotten so bold that they done stole a police horse, and they didn't. I was crushed. You niggas disappointed me. You did. But all I'm saying is this. If what we're saying is true, if what you're saying, you woke folks, is true, then you would easily be able to prove white on white crime to the equivalent of black on black crime on this magnitude. And please don't send me a mass shooting from a school. Don't send me Columbine. Don't send me Sandy Hook. You can't send me that because that don't happen every weekend. Okay, that happened once every 5 years? So send me the wilding out version of white folks in the poor communities that they live in, so I can go ahead and do that story. But until then, let's talk about these niggas.
At least 60 gun shell casings on the street. At least 6 of the 9 people who were shot are female adults, all sustaining upper body gunshot wounds. Police are not sure about a motive, but they know that a black sedan pulled up and those shots started coming from one person, perhaps more, inside that vehicle.
And look, 60 shots, 60 shell casings, it sounds like a lot, but it's not. Because when you take into account maybe 3 to 4 people who leaning out this car and they shooting, 10 rounds is 30. Another 10 rounds each. I mean, 10 rounds from each of them is 30 rounds. You say they got at least, if they got the chopper, if they just got handguns with 15 round magazines, that's 60 rounds easy. It's 45 rounds. Now if they got that chopper, or what's the nigga's favorite one? The Draco. They got that Draco, folk. I got that Draco, G. Then that lets you know. That lets you know what they did. So it sounds like it's a lot of people shooting, but it really ain't. It's just a lot of rounds being spent because niggas really ain't that accurate. Niggas don't really know how to shoot. They just really don't. They just point the gun in the area and hope for the best. That's why little kids get shot. That's why little girls get shot sitting in their house playing. That's why all these other side people who ain't got nothing to do with the violence is going on get shot. Niggas don't know how to shoot. They just shoot. That's all they do. In the general vicinity, they shoot. That's it. I'm not aiming. I don't know nothing about sights. I don't know nothing about equal height, equal light. I don't know none of that. I don't know nothing about squeezing. I don't know nothing about actually focusing on the target and being aware of what's behind. They don't know nothing about the gun rules. They get their gun and they let it ride. That's what they call it in the hood. We let it ride. Let it ride. Let that bitch loose, folks. That's what they do. So I'm just saying, when you're talking about this kind of violence that's going on, it's always going to be out of control because the people that are doing, they're not trying to make a hit. They're not trying to be calculating. They're literally just causing chaos, death, destruction. That's all they doing. It's the mentality of it is we want to fuck shit up to where everybody talking about it. So they can be the ones that saying they did it.
4 people taken to the University of Chicago in critical, 4 transported to Christ in critical, several other hospitals as well. Again, 14 people in all were shot here tonight.
At that time, the attendees of the funeral exchanged gunfire with the black vehicle.
I don't know who this nigga is, but this nigga has done a lot. You see all that shit on his chest? Boy, what the fuck do all that mean? I'm telling you, look, I have seen some decorated officers, but I swear that this Eric Carter, CPD First Deputy Superintendent, I have not seen anybody more decorated than this dude here. Shout out to you, deputy. You see all that shit on his shoulder. I don't even know how he put all that on his shirt. I do not know. You see, look, I'm going to show you how much shit he got on. Look at the officer to the right of him and look at where his name badge is. It's right above the shirt pocket. Now you look at this nigga here. This nigga got medals up to this top part that flap over and it go all the way down. Nigga, let me count the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This nigga got 8 rows of metal. What the fuck is he doing? Is this like the goddamn Cub Scouts? This motherfucker. Yeah, see this one right here, the blue, white, and blue one. That's for sewing. The one that's here, this one's for basket weaving. This one is for fire starting. The one down here, that's for knots. Then this one right here, that's for using the survival knife. Nigga, when do you have time to police? You out the streets getting all these goddamn badges. This nigga out here like he trapping Pokemon, man. I'm telling you, look. I would love for any Chicago police officer to tell me how many or what all that shit means. Because it definitely means something. I just want to know what all that shit is. Yeah, this was for typing. This one is. This one here is for word processing. See, this is back when I had Cobalt. See, I took Cobalt back in '94. See, that's what this one here is for. Man, do you see that? That's ridiculous. Salute to you, brother. Go ahead, Eric Carter. My goodness. Or as my uncle would say, goodness gracious.
Black vehicle then turned northbound down Carpenter. Upon going northbound down Carpenter, they continued to fire at the attendees of the funeral, at which time the vehicle midway down the block crashed and came to a halt. The occupants of the vehicle then exited in multiple directions and fled. We currently have a person of interest being interviewed by area detectives at the area.
Wow.
So one person in custody. They are looking for at least 3 more, according to the first deputy superintendent, Eric Carter. And all of this underscores what we have been talking about. So right now, let's turn to my colleague, Rob Sneed, who has more on the people who were shot out here tonight.
Is that Sam Sneed's brother? I'm Sam Sneed. You better recognize. I'm Sam Sneed, bitch. I know he done said that, or somebody done said that to him before. Man, boy, I tell you, G-Friend said, I took Cobalt 94, ain't getting no damn medal. They cheated you. You got cheated.
He's joining us from Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn. Rob?
Yeah, and as this continues to develop, so does the details surrounding this.
Is that nigga high? Don't this nigga look like he high? Hey, man, Rob Sneed smoke weed. Look at this dude.
Yeah, and as this continues to develop, so does the details surrounding this case. As you know, Patrick.
Y'all, that nigga high. He smokes weed. Look at this nigga face. Do that nigga even look like a reporter? I said a supporter. A reporter. Rob Sneed is on weed. He is high. I was here to do a report, but then I got high. I was supposed to talk about the news in the streets, but then I got high. I was supposed to talk about these niggas in the streets, but I got high. That nigga here, boy. I don't care what nobody say. That nigga high. Let's he do a drug test, a piss test, and they get tested with his hair follicles too. That's the only way I believe that this nigga don't get high.
Now, family members outside of the hospital, just a couple of.
And he got them dreads. Yeah, that nigga. Man, I bet you that nigga hair smell all like weed, like a motherfucker.
Them here, but just over our shoulder in the parking lot. That's where many of them continue to waiting for any type of update about their loved ones, the victims that are here in this hospital. Now, just a few moments ago, I had to.
Look at all them motherfuckers out there.
The chance to speak with the community activist, Andrew Holmes. He told me that many of the victims.
What the fuck? Who wears that type of shit to a funeral?
Involved in this shooting, the 14 people that are shot, many of them will have lifelong disabilities. So many are waiting and praying for these victims, hoping that they make a full recovery. Now, many of them are women with upper body gunshot wounds, as we mentioned earlier. Local community leaders, they all are speaking out tonight about this unthinkable violence that continues to keep happening.
Tragedy, it's the worst of the worst. As soon as you think it's as bad as it is, it gets worse. 9, 10, maybe more people even shot here. Just a tragedy. Chicago, something needs to happen. Something. Right. Makes me want to cry. It really does. At a funeral. This is not a.
Well, you crying at a funeral anyway, but it's like this, man. This was my thing where I'm saying this. They always say the same thing. This gotta stop, y'all. Y'all, this gotta stop. They say this gotta stop and put the guns down. Put the guns down. This gotta stop. This gotta stop, y'all. Put the guns down. What? They ain't listening. That's all I'm saying. Obviously, they are not listening. They are not listening. It's not happening. They ain't putting down nan gun. They ain't stopping nan shooting. They're not. These niggas is still kicking it off.
Funny situation. This is people's lives. You have altered and changed their whole complete life.
And why he got a mask on outside? Whatever. And for those of you who don't know, that mask don't stop COVID. Just so y'all know that. That don't stop COVID. If anybody knows that you supposed to have your mask, if that mask ain't an N95 mask, it ain't stopping shit. I'm just saying. If anything, it's just a breath checker. When you're talking to it, you can smell your own breath and see what your breath is doing. That's about it. It's a breath reverber or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Earlier today, I also had the chance to speak with a woman of a
This nigga high as shit. Oh, man.
22-year-old who was shot 3 times in the hand. She told me tonight her son is doing well, but she also has a message for those who continually keep pulling the trigger. And that message is simple. Put the guns down. Reporting live.
What I tell you? What did I tell you? When is this gonna stop? And put the guns down. That's all they say. Hey, but I ain't gonna hate on you, Rob Sneed. You did your thing. You were well spoken. You did your job, even though you was a little high. Hey, brother, shout out to you. I ain't hating. Hey, everybody that's watching, we got 171 people watching. Click that like button, please. Yes, thank you. And if you like what you're hearing, go ahead and hit that donate. Drop a little something on me.
We are tracking breaking
All
news.
right, now let's go ahead and let's dig into what's going on with Donald J. trying to say, look, some shit got to give.
President Trump has threatened to send in federal agents to various U.S. cities to restore what he calls law and order. But the ACLU says sending in these federal agents without them being requested is a violation of state protections highlighted in the Constitution. Protesters took to Federal Plaza yesterday after learning President Trump plans to send as many as 150 federal agents to Chicago to help control the city's deadly issue of gun violence.
If they try it, I'm going to use every tool at my disposal to stop them.
President Trump and his administration.
Here's my thing. What is it that you want to stop? And why did they show them dudes in full tactical gear? That's not how they showing up, man. It's just not how they showing up. It's like it's so crazy how the media would just spin some shit just for the sake of spinning some shit. They not showing up like getting off a plane like hut. Let's run over to the streets and we just out here. They're not doing that, man. Jesus Christ. But they painting the picture of that's what's gonna happen.
Critical of Mayor Lightfoot, saying she's not properly addressing the issue. Backing President Trump is Police Union President John Catanzara, who sent this letter to the White House Saturday calling Mayor Lightfoot a complete failure who was either unwilling or unable to maintain law and order in Chicago.
Now, my point is, the thing that stuck out to me is this. I've never seen the president of the FOP sending out a letter like this. I've just never seen it. So I guess the fact that they ain't vibing because they talking all this defunding the police shit or whatever the case may be, but the fact that you got the president of the union sending a letter to the president, and my thing is this, what is it that you're so offended by or so turned off about with the president sending in resources? Why wouldn't you want the resources to come that could come? I mean, it's not like this ain't never happened before. And I tell people this all the time. What he's been trying to do, they should have been did it. Obama should have did it. He should have been did this. This should not have gotten to the point to where it's gotten to.
He asked for the feds to step in and assist Chicago police.
We've got an unhinged leader of the Fraternal Order of Police who is craven and trying to generate attention. We're not going to have.
Why would he want this type of attention? What would the president of the FOP want with this type of attention? How does he benefit? How does the president of the Fraternal Order of Police for the Chicago Police Department, how does he benefit by sending a letter to Donald Trump? How does he benefit from that? What attention is he looking for to where that's beneficial to him to do that? Other than the fact that he sees she's literally trying to dismantle the very same police department that he is the president of the union for. Because that's the whole game. I don't understand how your city is like this, how you have these type of things happening to your city, happening to the people of your city, and you not concerned, but you are endorsing defunding the police. You got people throwing all types of shit and protesting at the police, and that's another video that I'm going to do about what Black Lives Matter and Antifa are condoning. The way that they're treating other people that are not on their same page or got their same beliefs, it's atrocious. It's despicable.
People that don't know our streets, don't know our...
You don't even know these streets. I don't even think Lori Lightfoot is from Chicago. Matter of fact, I've never, because I didn't even hear about her until she was like running. I swear I didn't. I don't know if she's even a Chicago native or if she's just the motherfucker who happens to. Lori Lightfoot is from Massillon, Ohio. What in the fuck? What in the fuck? Born in Ohio. There it is. And she talking about motherfuckers not knowing the streets. Lori Lightfoot's story begins 350 miles east of Chicago in the small city of Massillon, Ohio. That's where her mom worked overnight as a shift. What did that say? As a shift something.
Over the past few months, Chicagoans have gotten to know a little bit about
busting up the shifter roll. And I'm lying. Let me stop. Oh man, the most on February 26th. I want to know how long she was there as a shift nurse, nurse's aide, and her dad Eli Lightfoot dreamed of becoming a lawyer. Though my daughter, blah 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 blah, and her very close brother Brian Lightfoot. That's the criminal. Yes, Lori had one of those curious spirits. Yep, okay. But as academics, after graduating from the University of Michigan, so she went to U of M, Lightfoot headed to Washington, D.C. So she was in D.C. In 86, Lori Lightfoot moved to the city that she would hope to become and accepted law school. Oh, in 1986. Okay, so she's been there since 86. Yeah, that's a good amount of time. Yeah. I never felt more black in my life than I did my 3 years in Hyde Park. Yeah, she lived in Hyde Park. Okay. All right, that's cool. She been there since 86. That's some good time, in all fairness. Damn, hold up. Lightfoot was well on her way to becoming a partner, but she wanted trial law experience. So in 1996, she left it all behind to become a federal prosecutor. That same year, her brother, man, listen to this shit here. That same year, 1996, her brother was arrested for a federal crime. Possession of crack cocaine with intent to distribute. Brian Lightfoot was sentenced to 17 years for a case not so different from those her sister was prosecuting. Oh my God. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all what that means. If he got a federal case for selling crack, for possession of crack cocaine with the intent to distribute, do y'all know what that means? This nigga was the plug. This nigga was the plug. How are you a federal prosecutor and your brother is the dope man? You don't get fair time for a couple of bags, a dime, some dimes or some 20 or 8 ball. You don't get fair time for that. You do not get fair time for having some 8 balls. This nigga, thank you, Marcus. This nigga was pushing heavyweight. This nigga had that work. This nigga was the connect. He was the plug. He was the man. He had he had that work. He put you on. He fronted you. He was the nigga. He got his dope on consignment. Only for live men, not for freshmen. If you ain't got the clientele, say hell no, because Brian gonna want his money, hell, sleet, rain, snow. This nigga is moving weight if he got 17 years. That means that this nigga probably had a lawyer who knocked that 17 down from about 25 or 30. Wow. Wow. Boy, that's ignorant. That's ignorant. Her reputation as a no-nonsense litigator now solidified. Lightfoot was tapped by the administration of Mayor Richard M. Daley to clean up a series of messes. Boy, I tell you, ain't that some shit? Man. It is what it is, and I'm so tired. I fuck with the mob and I got ties. It's too late for all that lovey-dovey shit. I'm your brother shit. It's too late for all that. Sick of these niggas. Sick of these niggas. Hire some help. Get rid of these niggas. God damn.
Our neighborhoods, and then are engaging in clearly unconstitutional conduct.
And this is what you worried about? That's what you worried about? That's these motherfuckers. I believe this is footage of the troops, the agents being in Seattle. If I'm not mistaken.
Operating at will in our city.
Mayor Lightfoot expressing her outrage on primetime cable last night and saying the police superintendent is not in favor of the feds coming in. If federal agents are deployed, it is critical that they coordinate with the Chicago Police Department and work alongside us to fight violent crime in Chicago.
And my thing is this. Why are they acting like that's not what would happen? Like this ain't never happened before. It's not like the feds ain't never came into this city before. There was a operation called Operation Silver Shovel, where they caught a bunch of politicians that were basically corrupt. How do you think the feds said that Chicago was one of the most corrupt cities in the world? Operation Silver Shovel was an operation that was headed up by federal agents, where they literally got city officials, whatchamacallit get caught up in that shit. Jesse Jackson Jr. That's why his ass ain't congressman no more. He got caught up in that shit. Fucking Blagojevich got caught up in that shit. The other alderman's daughter got caught up in that shit. One of the aldermen for the city of Chicago, who was we all knew was fucking one of the biggest dope dealers in the city. And I'm talking one of the biggest dope dealers in the city. One of the biggest got caught up in that shit. This motherfucker was tipping this nigga off on drug busts, on warrants and all that shit. Silver Shovel, that was feds. Just saying.
Monday, Mayor Lightfoot sent this letter to President Trump telling him there was no need to send in federal agents.
Now, this is what date? July 20th. She's talking about there's no need to send in federal agents. Well, you tell me then, bitch, when is it a need to send in federal agents? You got over 400 and something niggas shot and dead, and you just not done reached halftime. It's the halftime show. The band is out playing. Got the majorettes and shit out there flipping that shit. That's what you got going on. This halftime. And do you see that they've already trampled the numbers from last year? Trampled the numbers from the year before. So you tell me, Lori, when is it time to call in the feds? When is it time to help? When is it time to get federal agents involved? Obviously, since you have been at the helm, and even before you, because I'm not going to even be even dumb enough. It would be horrible of me to say this is her fault. It's not. It is not her fault. This shit was like that when Rahm Emanuel punk ass was in office. This shit was like that back then. When he was coming in to get the city back on track, he felt his leadership could be useful in the city. Him having all of the experience from the presidential candidates that in presidential terms he's been at the White House, and now he can really offer his services and his resources and his connections, could really get this city back on track. Right. This was a problem back then, and they were all opposed to the feds coming in. Rahm Emanuel didn't even ask, and Obama was his boy. Obama and Rahm like that. Rahm Emanuel didn't even ask for help. He didn't even ask for the feds. And it was offered. Donald Trump was offering it, and he wasn't even the goddamn president. Saying like, what the fuck is the problem? Why won't y'all get the feds in there? Why won't y'all do that?
She referenced this weekend's clashes with protesters in Portland.
Having these armed camouflage individuals with no insignia on, no.
And here's where the bullshit is. Here is the false narrative. Do you see what these agents have on? Do you see what these federal troops got on? These federal troops have on riot gear. That's why they are dressed like that. They have on riot gear. Why do they have on riot gear, Brian? Because they were rioting in Portland. They were rioting in Seattle. Don't y'all remember the good old magical land of Chop? That's why they were dressed like this. That's not how federal agents show the hell up, man. Gas masks, ballistic helmets, plate carriers. They had that shit on because they were literally in a live war zone. Exactly, Mega Mortis. He was Obama's chief of staff. And he was in the White House even when the Clintons were there. He was in the White House then. I want to say he was chief of staff to the Clintons. So Rahm Emanuel himself, he knew not only the amount of resources that could be provided to help the city, he had the connections and the actual reach to actually call it down the way he wanted it. Obama would have did it any way he wanted him to. He would have done it any way he wanted it to. But he didn't want it because he didn't give a shit. He wanted the city to burn. Why? Because of the benefit it provides him and his rich motherfucking supporters. That's why. This is all about the money. What do they always say? Go follow the money. That's all this does. Follow the money.
Individuals with no insignia on, no nameplates, grabbing people off the street. That's unconstitutional. So our democracy.
Oh, I don't understand why you even bringing this up. That's not what's going to happen.
Is at stake. And I'll be darned if I'm going to let anybody, even if their name is Mr. President, bring those kind of troops to our city and try to take off our residents. That's not going to happen in Chicago.
Lightfoot is one of 6 mayors who signed off on another letter to the Attorney General and head of Homeland Security calling for the withdrawal of these federal agents and the threat of sending them. The mayors of Atlanta, D.C., Seattle, and Portland say it's politically motivated since the cities being threatened are all run by Democrats. U.S. Senators Durbin and Duckworth and 19 others are preparing to introduce legislation that would block the deployment of those unmarked federal agents. Senators Durbin and Duckworth by Democrats. U.S. Senators Durbin and Duckworth and 19 others are preparing. Mayors of Atlanta, D.C., Seattle, and calling for the withdrawal of these federal agents and the threat
happened in Chicago.
Lightfoot is one of 6 mayors who signed off on another letter.
Do you see them mayors on there? Mayor of Seattle. We all know how that shit turned out and what that shit was about. Good old Keisha Bottoms, mayor of Atlanta, Georgia. Then you got good old Auntie Lori. Then you got the mayor of Washington, D.C. Then you got the mayor of Kansas City, Missouri, and the mayor of Portland, Oregon. There go your 6 mayors, and you can clearly see what their cities are like. Just saying. Just saying. These Democratic ran cities, you can see exactly what this is on, what's going on.
To the Attorney General and head of Homeland Security, calling for the withdrawal of these federal agents and the threat of sending them. The mayors of Atlanta, D.C., Seattle.
And my thing is this, you have to ask yourself, for those people that live there, if our own police force, our own law enforcement department cannot establish law and order, and we have people literally running amok, causing chaos, how is it that they are okay with that? You want me to tell you why they're okay with that? You want me to tell you why those mayors are cool with pulling out any type of extra support that they're getting from National Guard, from the federal agents, or anything like that? You know why they're okay with it? Because they don't have to deal with it. All they do is get up, go to City Hall, make a bullshit ass press conference statement, and then they go back to their gated communities with their fucking personal security details. They all got them. Mayor Lori Lightfoot, in case y'all didn't know, she has a 24/7 Chicago police detail around her at all times, and she has a detail that is out in front of her house at all times. At all times. The very same people who telling you we don't need more police, we need more resources. The very same people that's telling you we don't need guns, we need resources, we need wraparounds and reach arounds. The very same people that are doing that, those are the people that live in gated communities. Those are the same people that have 24/7 armed detail security teams. And I don't understand why people who live in these cities are okay with that. Oh, so bitch, you need the police to protect you 24/7. Wherever the fuck you go, you got blue shirts and you got undercovers and detectives with you. But me, that's living in the worst of the worst cities, living on the worst side of the city, I ain't living in the Gold Coast. I'm living in the hood. I'm in the Wild Hunnets. I'm over in Inglewood. I'm over on the west side, over there on Independence, or wherever else I'm at over the west side. I'm over there, no security detail, and then y'all telling me y'all gonna defund the very same few police that we do have? Y'all want to defund that shit? How does that make sense? How are you people okay with that? Lori Lightfoot and everybody else, Keisha Bottoms, y'all want to set good examples? Reallocate, because you can, reallocate your personal details to those high crime areas. Redeploy, take those resources that you have, those 4, 6, or 8 police officers that you have, put them in your high crime areas. Put them there, since y'all good with it. Since all of the city needs is just more resources for the people, we need better gun control. Fine. Until that happens, put your own personal security details in the hood. Reallocate them. Since you're trying to cut back, you want to defund the police, start by defunding your own details. Take that police officer off your street, out in front of your house, out in the back of your house. Take them off. Trust in the people who voted you for office. You won every you want every ward in your city. Why won't you have the faith of those same people to not do anything to you? I'm telling you just like that. Those are the things that people should be calling for. You want to tell us what we need? You want to tell us we don't need the federal the FBI to come in and help us? We don't need the National Guard to come help us? Great. You start by getting rid of your security detail and giving them to the people in the hood. Put them on some street corners. Put them on 79th Street, where it's always popping. It's always some good shooting going on up and down 79th Street. You want to do that? Shout out to Bert for hitting me up with the young super chat. I appreciate it. You want to help us? Help us by giving us the resource. You have it. You have it. And here's my thing. I'm going to go right on into what I'm about to say as far as the solution. Number one, you want to fix the city? And I'm telling you like this, you talking to somebody who's not a politician. I don't have no political science degree. I don't have all of the inner workings of city government and all that, but I know that 1 + 1 = 2 and I got common sense. I have logic and I know the truth. Number one, the mayor is in charge of the police force. The superintendent and the alderman, they determine where the police resources go. Those 3 people. They decide how many police you get in your neighborhood, what special or tactical teams are deployed in your neighborhoods. If you need a gang task force, a drug task force, human trafficking task force, they are the ones that assign them. They talk to the captains, and the captains actually go out and make sure it happens. So when you're talking about the mayor, talking about the superintendent of the police, you're talking about your aldermen, and you're talking about your captains, those are the ones that make it happen. Those are the ones that make it happen. We need more police. Them the ones that get it done. So the first thing that you need to do if you want to fix this is you need to get all of those people on the same page. And the one of the first things that y'all need to do is you need to work with your district attorneys. You need to work with your sheriff's department. You need to work with your Department of Corrections, and your judges, and you need to change the sentencing. You need to come up with mandatory sentencing for illegal guns. You get caught with a gun, you get a mandatory 5 years up to 10. And people saying, so your ass is locking up more people, locking up the bad motherfuckers? Yes. You tell them if you get caught with a gun in the city of Chicago and it is not a legal firearm and you do not have the proper paperwork to carry a firearm, 5 years. Judge can give you up to 10, mandatory. You gotta sit down for 5. Now, in Chicago, here's why I say 5 years. Because in Chicago, it's 85%. You get day for a day. So 5 years, you're going to really sit down with good behavior. You'll really sit down for about maybe 3.5, almost 4. That's what you're going to do, because you're going to do 85. Now, if you get caught a second time, mandatory 10 years. Mandatory 10 years up to 15. That right there is going to take the guns out their hands. All your bad guys, if they know, it's mandatory. Like, ain't no negotiating. Ain't no, oh, well, what had happened was I ain't know. Nope. Here you go. Take this 10-piece wing, 10-piece bucket, and go sit down. Eat that. You're doing 10 years, you get out in about 8.5. That's 85%. There you go. That's it. You got some repeat offenders. You got some dudes that got caught. I got caught with a gun. I also got 4 drug charges. I also got this breaking and entering. I got this strong arm assault and battery. So now you know this is one of your consistent bad guys. then you give them more than that 5. You give them more than that 10. That's what you do. The other thing about that too is you change the prison system as opposed to having. I am totally against these niggas just sitting up here in jail. I'm totally against that, and that's what they do. They got them in jail and they just sit. No, you need to have these dudes out. If you go to jail, I'm sorry, if you go to prison, if you go to prison in Chicago or in Illinois, you go to work detail. Niggas want to call it modern slavery, whatever you want to call it, fine. You go to prison. Now, if you in jail, that's different. Jail and prison are two different things. You go to prison, you need to be cleaning up the city, cleaning up the state, all of these vacant houses, vacant lots in the city, the viaducts, all of that stuff, everything that's the dilapidated areas in the neighborhood, the very same people that sold drugs and help perpetuate the shit and terrorize it need to be the very same niggas that go and clean up those areas. Go cut the grass, go clean up the trash, go get the burnt up cars, the garbage, all of that. That's what they go do. They go and paint the light poles. They go and clean up the city and the state. You take some of these acres of land, you have these niggas farm. Yup, sounding just like slavery. You have these niggas farm those lands. You have those niggas grow this food to do what? To feed the homeless and to feed the low-income housing people who don't have food. That's what you do. That's what you do. You teaching these cats how to farm. You giving them a trade. You're helping to feed the homeless with the proceeds and the reaping of the harvest. You're helping to feed homeless people. You're helping to feed these homeless kids. You're helping to feed hungry kids. All of these kids that don't have the resources to have the stuff that they have, them farming. That's what you have them do. They work that land, they till that land, they weed that land, they grow this food, and that's what they do. So either you cleaning up the city, you growing food for the homeless, you growing food for those people that don't have this or don't have that. You are there helping them do that. That's what you do. You got a ton of vacant lots in your ward for the alderman. You got these vacant lots and these vacant properties. You have these same people that are doing prison terms. You have them run around. You come around and cut the grass every week. You have them come and shovel the snow. All of these old homes and these old people, these blocks that you have where these people don't have the resources to keep the area up. That's what you have these people come do. You have them come get the graffiti off the walls. You have them come clean up the alleys. You have them come empty the abandoned houses and the houses that need to get torn down. You have them come there and do it. Indentured servants, slaves, I don't care what you call them. Put them to work. We paying to have those dudes fed 3 times a day, getting medical care. Whenever something happened to them, if somebody gets shanked or somebody got diabetes, we paying for them to get that care. They need to be kicking back in and working. Helping the greater good. Helping those that are less fortunate in society. Because they're part of the problem. And you're teaching them something. You teaching them something. They don't want to work. They just want to sit up and lift weights and find out new ways to do fuck shit. That's the problem. That's why you have cats coming out being worse criminals than they went in. Niggas ain't doing shit in jail but making hooch, sneaking in weed to get high, sneaking in heroin to get high, and fucking each other. That's all these niggas is doing. And lifting weights. Watching TV. Getting their hair braided. So now you at least getting something back to the greater good, to society, the way they doing something. And in some cases, it even gives people purpose. They ain't out here growing food for the white man. They out here growing food for the homeless. They not out here painting the light poles and cleaning up the empty lots and the vacant lots for the white man and his people. They out here doing it in the same neighborhoods they helped terrorize. The same neighborhood that they sold drugs in or like in Lori Lightfoot brother's case, push heavy weight in, should be the same neighborhood that this dude should have to come back and cut the grass. Right, these niggas are on Facebook dating now. Lining up pussy. I'm just saying, you have to do something different in order to, because if you keep doing what you're doing now, ain't shit changing. It ain't nothing changing. Let these kids see this what happened to you when you go to jail. You see them niggas in them leg irons, walking down that vacant lot, picking up that trash, cutting down them trees, picking up that trash. That's what you gonna do. That's what you gonna do. So now you have something that these dudes are doing and they're actually giving back. So it makes more sense than just having them sit up in jail, becoming worse criminals. Nigga been locked up for 5 years, ain't done nothing but worked out, ate that food, got money put on his books of commissary, got TV, VCR, been straight, want to get out. But now when they get out, they ain't got no skills. They don't know how to do nothing. What do that person do? They gonna go back to doing what they've been doing. They'll go back to doing what they've been doing. Maybe I learned something. Maybe I learned how to, maybe I'll come out and get me a lawn care service. I done learned how to cut grass. I done learned how to take care of yards. I done learned how to, fertilize grass. I done learned how to grow food. Maybe I will come out and do something different. Maybe I can go and help somebody do something or grow something or work at what do they call it? Work on a farm, or there's plenty of Hispanics that do it. There are people that come up here on green cards just to help pick crops on harvest to get money and go right back to to Mexico. Why can't we take advantage of that? Nigga, you can't read, you don't know math, you can at least pick some fruit, cut some grass, do something. That's all I'm saying. We have to turn things around to where people are being more productive. And one of the things to getting people to be more productive, you have to give them purpose. You have to give them purpose. If a person don't have no purpose, they not gonna have nothing good to do. They are literally the what they say, the idle mind is the playground for the devil. Was that in a song? The idle mind is the devil's workshop, or something like that. But if you're not putting anything good into them, if you're not giving them any type of useful tools, then that's what you're gonna get. Yes, it's hard for people to actually get jobs that require them to have certain skills to where they don't have a record. Those are the things they should be working at. A mechanic. There you go. Give these people some type of skills. But the thing is, the jail system, the penitentiary system, it's not geared for that. It's not set up for that, which is why they have it privatized. That's where your votes come in. That's where you come in and say, hey, mayor, hey, governor, hey, alderman, hey, city councilman, hey, House of Representatives, hey, senator, we need to change this. We want to start giving our people something to do. Y'all sitting back getting these kickbacks, letting these niggas just sit up here in jail and getting y'all rich by using the phone system, getting y'all rich by using the food system, getting y'all rich by using the clothing system. That's all privatized, and all y'all doing is getting a kickback from it. We done with that. It's a great ride, but it's over. That's how you change it. And then that's just coming from a politics side of it. On the personal accountability side of it, people, y'all have to get tired to the point to where you're really tired, to the point to where you're really going to do something. You have to draw a line in the sand and say the very thing that you're killing us for is now the very thing that I'm willing to die for. The fact that somebody had the audacity to come and shoot up a funeral, to come and shoot a person in front of their kid, to come and shoot a person at the grocery store, to come and shoot a person at a church, to come and shoot a person at their birthday, to come and shoot a person at a baby shower, to come and shoot a person at their grandmama's 98th birthday party. That should be enough. To where you telling, to where you going out on the streets and telling them people ain't no more dope being sold here. Y'all got to move. Hey, this walking up and down the street on the corner, this riding around, being outside, you gang bang, it's going to stop now. And the minute somebody say something, the minute somebody say y'all ain't going to do, then that needs to be click, click, pow, pow. If you're not willing to die for that very thing that you call your own, that very thing that you call your home, if you're not willing to die for that, then you are not willing to get, you're not going to get the change that you want. You think about it like this. You think about the hood, and you think about how the hood got to be the hood. It was by bloodshed. Those niggas fought for them blocks, and they fought for those blocks, and then they started killing for those blocks. That's how every gang, every hood you talking about, whether it's BD, GD, CVL, Vice Lord, Latin King, whatever gang you talking about, Crip, Blood, whatever gang you talking about, they got they set because they killed for it. I'm telling you what I know. Ain't not a gang set in America that don't have no blood on it. So think about it like this. How do you think that very thing that somebody else killed for to get, how do you think you don't have to kill for it to get it back? Look at look at the conquerors of the world. Look at how every land has been conquered. How did America get conquered? Everybody always say Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. Nope, he sure didn't. He didn't. But he got here and he saw some indigenous people that he could fucking overrun, and they did it. And you know what they did? They didn't just say, hey, all y'all Indians got to go. They killed them. 1 by 1, 10 by 10, 100 by 100, 1,000 by 1,000, whatever they did, they pushed them to the end of the continent. They came in on the east and went all the way across to the edge of the west. That's what they did. And they're not the first, and it won't be the last. You look at all of the other countries that have been taken over. It's been done with blood shed. Same rules apply. If you're not willing to die for your hood, if you're not willing to die for your community, to die for your block, then whoever is going to run it. And not to say that you got to go out and kill, but you have to have that mentality the way you are willing to do so. I tell people about it all the time. When we were on the block, them niggas didn't come take over our block because we stood out there and we told them niggas they wasn't doing it. But we didn't stand out there with no prayer group. We didn't stand out there with no kids off the block shirts on. We did not stand out there telling them niggas they couldn't be on our corner. They couldn't be on our block with the drinks and be on the block fighting. We never told them they couldn't be there. And we talking about we praying this thing through. I can't tell you how many times niggas tried to take over the corner. Our house was on the corner. Niggas tried to take it over. It was a nice corner. It was big. Niggas wanted to literally park on the side on our house, in front of our house, drink and smoke. Cool out. Dump their trash in the yard and ride off. We told all them niggas, hey man, you can't do that over here. Hey man, y'all can't be posted up on that porch. Yeah, don't nobody live there right now, but y'all ain't gonna be there neither. Man, this ain't your heart. This ain't your house. You right. It's my block though, cause I live here. You don't. Man, we live down the street. Then go down the street where your mom and them house at. Sell dope out of there. You ain't selling no dope out of this house. Man, Joe, y'all don't know who the fuck y'all talking to. Yeah, you right. I don't know you. But I do know that Glock beat rock, Glock beat paper, and Glock beat scissors. I do know that. That's what we did. We wasn't out there pointing no guns at nobody. We had stood out there with them right there on our side. Because whatever you want to do, it is what it is. Because the very same niggas you let sell dope on your block gonna be the very same niggas that's gonna be shooting up your block because some other niggas that want to sell dope on your block gonna want to take over that block. So the shooting is gonna commence at some point anyway. I'd rather be the one to kick it off and draw a line in the sand than to have my kids be outside trying to play and they can't. Because the very same niggas I was scared to go confront are the very same niggas that got me living as a hostage in my house, on my block. I'm just telling y'all what I know. I'm not one of these cats sitting here telling y'all what y'all should do because we the not fucking around crew. I'm not one of them niggas, and I'm gonna do that video too. That's one of my videos I gotta do. I'm not one of them niggas. Marching where the Ku Klux Klan was 100 years ago, that's where we gonna go. What? Nigga ain't no, when was the last time a nigga had a problem with the Ku Klux Klan? When was the last time the Klan came to your hood? When was the last time the Klan put a cross on your front lawn? But that's where we going to protest at. Man, get your ass out of here. With some bullshit ass AR-22 rifles. Man, get your ass out of here. I'm telling you what I know. If you're not willing to take a stand and take a stand while you matching equal or greater force, you can hang it up. Sit your ass in the house, take your ass back in the house, and pray. And hope for the best. And when the shit come knocking at your door, up, random bullets, pow, 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 you better take it. When your grandbaby gets shot in the back and all he was doing was playing some Call of Duty, playing some Nintendo, playing with his Nintendo DS, that's because you didn't take a stand. When your son is selling dope out your house and you know he getting money, you just don't know exactly how he getting money because you ain't actually seen it, but he's still doing it, and then he gets shot, don't be talking about put the guns down. Don't be talking about this gotta stop, y'all, once your son gets shot. Once your son is dead. Once your daughter gets shot. Once your daughter is dead. Don't be talking about how they was just about to start school. They give you the shirt off their back. They had a smile that light up the world. They was the funniest, the coolest, the nicest, the sweetest, the most humblest. They was the one that made you be who you are, and they was your heart. Don't be talking about that shit because you wasn't willing to stand up for it before it got to that point. Your first son gets shot, you don't do shit. Your daughter gets shot, you don't do shit. Your next son gets shot, you don't do shit. Your other son go to jail, you don't do shit. Your other daughter gets shot, you don't do shit. But you steady talking about put the guns down. When is this gonna stop? It's gonna stop when you stop it. That's when it's gonna stop. Ain't no pastor or community activist ever turned no hood around. Facts. It ain't happened. The only way the hood get turned around is when enough violence done happened and enough shit done got dilapidated to the point to where them niggas don't even want to live there no more. And then you know who come and fix it up? The good old white folks. Either that or you have some real soldiers that stand up for their own shit and say it ain't happening no more. All them cats on the not fucking around crew need to be in the not fucking around neighborhoods. They need to be walking up and down the fucking around gangbangers hoods. But they ain't gonna do that. Path of least resistance. We gonna go over here where the white folks ain't gonna do nothing to us. That's what we gonna do. You gotta be willing, like Tupac said in motherfucking Juice, you gotta be willing to stand up, put your back against the motherfucking wind and be willing to die for that shit. And all he was talking about was juice. Respect. How about you do that for your grandkids that ain't even there yet? How about you do it for your son that's still in the hood? How about you do it for your daughter that's still there? How about you do it for your kids, your nephews, and your nieces? How about you do it for them? And if you ain't gonna do it, then at least get them out of there. At least stop bringing more of them into that neighborhood. You 16, 17, 18, well, I'm sorry, in the hood, you 13, 14, 15 years old, what you bringing a baby into the world for? Why would you bring a child into the world when you know good and goddamn well, number one, you can't take care of it on your own. And number two, you can't provide a safe environment for it to grow up in. Why would you be that selfish? Young men and young women alike. You are a selfish motherfucker to have a kid in a fucked up neighborhood that you cannot take care of without government assistance, and it's not safe for them to be in. Just because you grow up there don't mean your kids should. Just because you live there and survive don't mean that your kids should have to grow up in that situation. You know why I don't live in the hood no more? It's because I wanted to give my kids the best possible situation to grow up and thrive in. And I knew I couldn't do it in the hood, and I wasn't going to spend the other half of my life trying to change that very same hood, because I was out fucking numbered. I was not going to do it. I did the best I could. I spent the time and mentored the young men and mentored the shorties and was an upstanding individual and did the right thing. I did that for the better half of my youth. I mentored the kids and coached Little League Baseball. I went out and talked to the kids about being in IT and doing and getting into technology. And this was back in the late 80s, in the late 90s, early 2000s when I was doing it. When being a black dude and being a computer geek and all that shit wasn't nowhere even near being cool or popular. Telling kids, hey man, you can make some good money doing this and you don't have to go to school for 8 years to learn it. You can get a certification in a matter of a few months and be able to actually go out and make some real money. I did that. I was the best example that I could possibly be, but I wasn't going to spend my entire life and sacrifice not having kids, sacrifice having to probably wind up shooting and killing a nigga. I said, I got to get out of here because I'm going to kill one of these niggas. I'm just telling you, that's just what it is. I knew that my patience had worn out and gotten thin to the point to where it's like, okay, I've done too much. I ran out of gas. But you go in the hood now and you talk to these niggas about being in the hood and they don't even want to acknowledge the truth. You got niggas still talking about ain't no such thing as black on black crime. How can you reach a people about changing what's going on in their neighborhood when they got people dying around them every day? And then they turn around and want to believe some bullshit like black on black crime don't exist. That black folks ain't the highest violent crime committing motherfuckers in the country. How can you actually change and reach some people that won't even acknowledge that? Because they don't have fathers in their homes. That's why one of the main contributing factors as to why they're so fucked up in life. They're more likely to commit suicide, more likely to commit violent crimes, more likely to hurt themselves, to hurt each other, to have all of these other fucking outlying issues, to wind up in jail. All of this shit is against them just because of that one major piece missing, and they won't even acknowledge that. Mamas can be daddies too. How do you do that? And that's why I do what I do. Acknowledge the truth so that you can actually move on. Acknowledge the truth so you can actually start to repair and to build something different. But being in denial, and we spending more time and energy talking about fucking President Trump, we spend more time and energy talking about black police brutality. We spend more time talking about those two things than we will spend talking about the thing that affects us directly every day. Tell me if I'm lying. Just stop me right now. Stop me and say you a fucking lie. You look at your friends page and you look at those people and look at your own page, because some of you are even in here in the goddamn chat. You got more shit on your timeline talking about Donald Trump. You got more shit on your timeline talking about look at how they did this man, how they did this black man, why they lock him up like that, why they hit him like that. And then you got 86 niggas getting shot in a weekend in your city. 4-year-old, 3-year-old boy shot, dead in your city. But you got shit on your timeline about Trump. You got more shit. Just think about that. There's more. Do y'all realize that black folks talk about Donald Trump more than they have talked about Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, all of the presidents that they love? They spend more time talking about Donald Trump than they do spending time talking about the very things that are affecting their everyday life. They blame more shit on Donald Trump than they blame the very motherfuckers that they see committing the crime and doing the fucked up shit in their own neighborhoods. Niggas are more obsessed with Trump than white folks. Stop me when I'm lying. It's niggas are more obsessed with talking about how Donald Trump is messing up this country and is ruining this country more than they talking about their own presidential candidate. How many niggas are posting up vote Biden 2020? How many niggas are putting up positive messages from Joe Biden on their timelines? How many? Just go back and look. Go look at your friend's timeline and they gonna have something on there. It's at least 3-1. They'll have 3 things about Trump before they have one thing about something that directly affects their lives on their pages. Niggas that hate Trump pay more attention to Trump than the cats that actually like Trump. I'm telling you, they actually, even the politicians in their own respective areas, they talk more about Donald Trump than they talk about their own candidate. Think about it like this. When Barack Obama was running against Bush, not against Bush, but after Bush got out, when Barack Obama was running, and what was the first dude? Not John Kerry, but not McCain, but the other guy. I can't think of his damn name. Damn. Mitt Romney. When Barack Obama was running against Mitt Romney, how many people was talking about Mitt Romney that was for Barack Obama? Damn near nobody was. People wasn't talking about motherfucking McCain like that. Mitt Romney like that. And then when Obama won the second time, and it was John McCain, everybody pretty much was like, McCain too old, man. We can't do nothing with him. And then they got obsessed with the chick. What's her name? God damn it, I can't think of her name. Excuse me. I can't think of the woman's name that was running as the vice president. That lets you know how much of a non-fucking factor she was. She was Sarah Palin. Thank you. She was literally, I almost called her Tina Fey, but I knew that wasn't it. She was literally that much of a joke. If Trump is that much of a joke, as much as people want to call him a clown, as much as people say he's not even a real politician, all that you say, if he's that much of a joke, why even talk about him? You would be talking about the vice president running with Biden. Who the fuck is that? Bueller? Y'all do realize that the Democrats are 5 months away from an election, and you still don't know who the vice president running mate is, who Joe Biden's vice president running mate is. Y'all ain't concerned about that? Seriously? Y'all are not concerned? All of you people that are gonna vote for Biden, all of you people that are pro-Biden, yes, Joe is better than Trump. Fine. All of y'all people, how come y'all ain't even concerned about who is the vice president gonna be? You've heard a lot of rumors from Keisha Bottoms to Kamala Harris. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard. Is it Kamala Harris? Let me know. But I have not heard that that's official. I heard she's being vetted. I heard Keisha Bottoms was being vetted. I heard Klobuchar, she was being vetted. I haven't heard them announce or haven't seen a Biden whoever 2020. I have not seen it. But y'all telling me y'all more worried about what Trump is saying as opposed to who your vice president gonna be 5 months away from the election? Actually, it's less than 5. Oh, I personally think Joe gonna lose whatever woman he picks. He's gonna lose. But whatever. Y'all just think about where y'all at and what's actually going on. Y'all are so obsessed with Trump that you're not even concerned about Biden and what Biden's gonna do for y'all. I'm just saying, just think about that. When was the last, and tell me this, when was the last time you had a presidential candidate running for president and they didn't have a vice president selected yet 5 months away from the election? I'll wait. I remember the last candidate that was waiting around to pick one. You know who that was? John McCain. Pussyfooting around, and once he finally picked Sarah Palin, they shredded her. They talked about everything from her intelligence all the way down to saying her daughter had a baby and gave it to her, and they said that it was her baby when it was actually the daughter's baby. That little kid, I think his name was Gunner or some shit like that. I'm just saying, that's what they did. It was that bad. The only person I said, and the only person I said that Biden could pick to where he could fuck around and win, in my opinion, to have a female vice president, there's really only 2 people he could possibly pick that would be strong enough to say he might fuck around and win. And that would be Oprah Winfrey, and that would be Michelle Obama. Tripp, that was his name. Those would be, though, if he was gonna have a woman of color that is that's gonna be his vice president for him to win, them the only 2 that could do it. Them the only 2 that are well spoken enough. Those are the only 2 that have the likability that transcend race, them the only two that can do it. Michelle or Oprah. Oprah got too many skeletons in her closet, which is why she ain't gonna run. And I don't know what Michelle wants to do. But that's who he would need in order to be like, oh shit, he's in the fucking race. What's that song Tommy got? I'm back in the race. That will put him in the race because of the popularity of those two people. So many people like them as people that they would be able to fuck around and pull it off. Because people would be confident in the fact that if Joe Biden died, Joe Biden went into a coma, he tripped and fell and got knocked unconscious, they would be cool with one of those people being in charge. Just saying. But it is what it is. Let me go ahead and let's wrap this up. I want to say thank you to everybody that checked this out, that checked out the stream. I'm so glad to be back. Like I said, I appreciate everything, everybody's donations to the studio, to just the calls and all that good stuff. I'm really excited about getting this thing together. We're going to read off these donations real quick. Boom, and I'm right at 2 hours. That's what's up. And we're going to get you on up out of here. Let me find... Let's see. Come on now. I'm going to do this PayPal first. This PayPal always be one to be taking the longest. There we go. All righty. Oh, shit. Shout out to my man, DJ Just J. He said, haven't spoke to you in a while. Praying for you and your family, bro. Salute. AFC, Advocate for Children. He hit your boy up with $5. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. All right. Actually, I did not read this because this got donated the last time I went after I ended the show. But Julius Wilborn hit your boy off with $5 as well. Thank you, sir, for your donation. And there was another, I think it's two more. Marcel Lett hit your boy off with $10. Thank you, sir. And I think this is where I read it, but I just want to make sure. My man Terrence Cardwell hit your boy off for $3. He says, dude, you are putting the logic down right on the street. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That's for everybody who donated on the PayPal side of the game. Now let me go over here to the Cash app, and we're going to do this thing, and we're going to get you on up out of here. If you are watching this on the replay, you can still donate and click the like button. I appreciate that. All righty. Let's see here. Yep. Let's start out with my man, Quentin Mitchell. Hit your boy off with $5. He says, once again a great show. Hit your boy off with $5. Thank you, sir. Hitting your boy off with the 5-piece. And then my man Eric Dennis hit your boy off with $5. He says, hope your boy is doing all right. I'm gonna give you a quick update on that too. Thank you, sir. And my man Mega Mortis hit your boy off with $15. Thank you so much for your donation, sir. And let's go ahead to my man Montreal Rather. Hit your boy off with $1. He says, thanks for the show, bro. Hey, man, it was my pleasure. I'm glad you tuned in. Thank you, sir. And my man Rich hit your boy off with $5. He says, keep speaking the truth. Hey, man, I will do just that, sir. Let's see. Oh, and my man Sage Yokai hit your boy with $100. That's what's up. Sage, I appreciate you wherever you're at. Thank you. I hope you're still here. Let me say thank you. That's what's up. Showed your boy some major love. Yeah, buddy. And my man Montreal Rather hit your boy up again. He said, it's sad that it comes to this for change. Yeah, that's very true, man. I totally get that. And Angry Man, always looking out, always consistent. Thank you, sir, for your $5 as well. Thank you. Sage, hey, man, that's what's up, partner. I appreciate you. Yes, sir. I had to hit you off with that wrench for that one. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Hey, look, man, it's just one of those things to where you have your things in life that are worth dying for, man. And I'm telling you like this, if the things that you work hard for to achieve in life, like your home, your possessions, but most importantly than that, your family, Why would you not be willing to die for a safe place for your children to play? For a safe place for your children to grow up? When it's literally nothing but other children terrorizing your very own communities. We got to expect better than that. And we got to be the first ones to take a step, and then we go to them politicians and make them do our bidding too. But we have to draw that line in the sand first. You let enough drug dealers and gang bangers get shot by law-abiding citizens, trust and believe they'll back off. Because at the end of the day, no matter how many guns they got and how much drugs they sell, everybody likes living and breathing. Everybody likes to inhaling and exhaling. Everybody want to do that. Everybody wants to do that. That man that you see, that's the plug, that's riding around in the Benz or riding around in the Bentley or riding around in the Rolls Royce that you know is selling drugs and ruining your community, that's your target. That young nigga that you know that everybody's saying is shooting everybody and terrorizing everybody and shooting at everybody, that's your target. And if it turns out that it's your nephew, or if it turns out that it's your son, if it turns out that it's your cousin, then call the police. I don't expect you to go do that to your own kin, but call the police on them. Get them out of there. Give them the evidence. Hey, man, look, you going to be here? I'm going to tell the police. Yep, he shot him and he got the gun under his bed. He put the gun over there. I saw him with the gun. He tucked it under there. Snitches get stitches. Well, if enough snitches start snitches, it won't be nobody to give snitches or dig ditches. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you to everybody that came by. I appreciate all the love, all the support. I love you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for taking your time out to just tune in. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me, and I appreciate that. I hope that this video helps somebody become a better version of themselves. I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab, and shout out to everybody over in the VIP section at the United Guns of America. I appreciate you all for coming by. I love y'all. Till next time, peace, and I'm out. Oh, one more thing. My son. I know a while ago, about a week and a half ago, I asked everybody to pray for my son. He is doing a lot better, leaps and bounds. So thank you all for your prayers. Thank you all for your continued support. My son is doing so much better. He's still in the hospital, but he is on the way, on the mend. So I'm happy about that. My wife is happy about that. And hopefully one day soon, I'll have him in my arms over here on the show so everybody can see the Royal Prince of Zamunda. But thank you guys so much for all of the well wishes, everybody that reached out to me, everybody that even donated to me and just gave me well wishes for my son. Thank you guys so much. He is doing so much better. So please keep praying, keep sending his name, speaking his name out to the ancestors, whatever it takes. I appreciate you all and thank you guys so much. And like I said, I can't wait till my son comes home so I can show him to y'all. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much, man. Y'all have a good night. And I'm out again.